Welcome back, guys. It is craft time. Let's go ahead and get started. In today's video, we are going to be doing some Valentine's Day inspired heart door hangers, and we are going to start out with this first one. I picked up this heart form, I believe, at Hobby Lobby. If not, it was Michael's. And we're just going to start by removing the hanger that was already on there and removing any of the stickers that might be on there. And then I'm going to paint the entire thing white. I'm going to be painting this with just white acrylic paint, and I'm going to be painting the front, the sides, like all of the edges, and the back. I just like to finish off the back of my pieces the same as the front so that they look nice from either direction, especially if you're hanging this on like a glass door where you'd be able to see the other side. From there, we are going to let that dry, and we're going to be doing some Mod Podging today. I'm going to use this really pretty floral paper, tissue paper. I believe I picked this up at Michael's. It definitely was a craft store, and it was just in their like gift bag section. So I went ahead and separated the two layers because it did have a dual layer on it. And I'm going to be using some dishwasher safe Mod Podge for this, so I'm going to be putting it down in sections. So I'm going to do a nice even thin layer on the first bottom half, and I'm going to center it up and lay it down, and I'm just going to be using my hand and this little card to smooth it out, starting in the center and working towards the edges. Once I'm ready, I'm going to fold it down and do the next layer, and I'm just doing a couple inches at a time. This is just going to kind of let me control the tissue paper, get it down where I need it to be without having a ton of wrinkles. There are so many ways to do this. I know a lot of people do heat presses these days, but I like to stick to the good old fashioned and just give it a little bit of that handmade touch, because you will be able to see that obviously this was done by hand with a few wrinkles here and there and just like their little imperfections. I just think that gives it a little more character. So I'm going to work on cutting away the excess that is here. This is just going to help me whenever it's dry and I'm ready to sand off those edges. So now I'm going to take my Mod Podge and I'm going to start doing my top layer. I'm going to do a nice thin and even layer on the entire top and making sure I get those edges and sides. And then I'm going to set it aside to dry. This is a wood piece that I actually picked up from the Goodwill, and I love it. It's really cute. I'm actually painting the back here. I am just going to be using some of that Waverly antiquing wax to darken it a little bit. I wanted it to be some shades darker, but I just put this on and then I let it sit for a second and then I wipe it off. This is sped up a little, so that's why it looks like I'm going so fast, but I'm just going to put it on, let it absorb in, wipe it off. I'm doing that on the front and the edges. I'm not worried about the back because the back is going to be connected to the other piece that I just finished, so you will not be seeing it. I am going to go ahead and do a second coat on this because I decided I do want it to be darker, so I just painted it on, and now I'm using another brush to kind of lightly brush over it to kind of give it those streaks, and then I'm going to set it aside and just let that dry and let as much of it absorb in as possible before wiping off any excess. This first portion was dry, and we're going to come back to it with a sanding block, and we're going to hit all of those edges. You want to make sure it is completely dry before you do this, or you will tear your paper, but this is an excellent way to get nice crisp edges. So I'm just going to rub in a downward, slightly angled motion all over this heart in all of the spots. And as you can see here, it's a little hard to get in between the two humps of the top of the heart. So I'm just going to come in with a nail file and use that to sand away in that little area to make sure it's nice and clean and has also those crisp edges in there. After that, you just want to come back and make sure all of your edges are stuck down really well. So I'm going to hit it with one more coat of that Mod Podge to make sure everything is stuck down. It's not going to peel away or have any areas that are likely to tear in the future. And that way, any water that might get in there, everything is sealed down nice and tight. This little house is from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be painting it up because I'm going to be adding this onto the sign as well. I wanted a specific color, so I mixed a royal blue and a purple together. I don't know what color this would be, but we're going to call it Blurple. And I'm just going to paint that on the roof and paint the front, the top, the sides, and then like the underneath of the roof to make sure all of the places that you would be able to see are covered and cohesive. So I'm just going to take a nice little small detailed brush, take my time and paint those up. And then when I'm done with that, I did paint the entire face and sides of the house white. I did not get that on camera. I missed that somewhere along the lines. I'm sorry. I don't know where that footage went to, but I did paint all of that white. And then once I was done, I came back in and I did a dry brush just to kind of bring it all together of that royal blue, just really lightly dabbing very dry bristles with the slightest bit of paint on all of those edges, just rubbing it and kind of flaring it out to give it a little bit of a distressed in that same color to bring it together, because I'm going to be adding this blue decal on there that I cut out with my Cricut. I did not design this one myself. I just found it in the art that is on there and cut it out. This is actually some Dollar Tree vinyl. I have this on hand because I like to use it for stenciling because it's just a cheap way to use something that you're going to use one time. I honestly find that it works for me pretty well as long as there's no small details. So since this lettering was going to be fairly simple and a good size, I knew that it would cut out and work well for me. So I'm just going to peel it all out and weed it here. And as you can see, it peels so and weeds so easily that I don't even need my tools. I'm just using my fingernails. So I'm just going to weed it, and then I'm going to be placing it on to the house. Love grows here. I think it's going to match and bring everything together really nicely, and I'm really excited about it. I am using here my transfer tape. This is essentially a giant roll of masking tape. I love this stuff. It has just the perfect amount of stick to get your vinyl on there, but I've never had issues with it pulling or up any of my paint or designs that I already have down when I'm doing the transfer. So I really love it. You can see through it, so you know exactly where your decal is going to go. It is linked in my affiliate links in the description below if you are interested. Now that this is on and we have it placed really well, we're just going to kind of start stacking things to see how they fit. I really wanted this to kind of sit here in the middle of this heart and then that heart to attach to the background. I like the really busy floral, colorful background kind of neutralized by the really natural color of the wood here. So I am just going to put some hot glue on there to kind of hold it in place. And then we're going to be adding some staples. So I'm just going to place it down here and center it. And then I'm going to flip it over. And like the hot glue is going to kind of hold it. So when I flip it over, I know it's exactly where I want it. And I'm just going to place some staples in the back just to make sure it's going to stay on there, because that second heart is a little bit heavy. So now that that is on there, I am going to add the house. I'm just going to be hot gluing this onto the front. So if you need something a little better, you could add some super glue or E6000 or something on there to give it a little extra support. But for now, hot glue will do. So I'm going to move on from that, and I'm going to start adding the finishing touches. I am doing the wired jute that I picked up. This is just from the Dollar Tree. I put some tape around the edges so that I would be able to thread it through those holes without it completely unwinding on me. So once I got that in, and I'm just twisting it in the direction where the jute will tighten, not where it will unwind. That would make sense. If you go to do this project, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I just twisted it through, and now I'm just twisting it together and cinching it down. And I'm going to cut off where I have the tape and any of the excess. And once I do that, I'm going to hit it with a tack of hot glue just to make sure that twine does not start to unwind on me and expose the wires underneath. One, just for looks, but two, so that the wire does not accidentally scratch anything on the door. So I'm going to finish that up, and then we're going to start piecing everything together when it comes to the final details. So I'm going to use these cute flowers. I had these flowers that match the blue really well and some really light pink ones. And I just took some floral wire and wired those together. I didn't think you guys would want me to just watch me do that over and over, just wrapping it in a circle. So that's all I did. I laid them out how I wanted to and wrapped the wire around all of the stems so that they're one piece. That way I could easily staple them to it without having to worry about doing 1,000 staples. So I'm just placing everything down where I want to, and I think it's really cute. But then I just couldn't finish this. I was like, do I want to use these flowers? Do I want to use this ribbon? I really couldn't figure it out, so I had to just walk away for a while. And I decided to go buy some new ribbon. I haven't bought ribbon for my stash in a long time, and I think that's what my problem was, is I just didn't like any of the options. So I went out to Michael's and I picked up this ribbon, and it is super, super cute. I think they call it ticking stripe is the design on it, but it's the perfect color blue, and I just really, really love it. And I'm so excited because I feel like it really brought everything together. So all I'm going to do is make a really cute simple bow here. I just wrapped the ribbon around to where it was long enough to cinch in the middle, and put a piece of floral wire, and then I just cut a separate strip where I pinched it in the middle and added that to the back with the excess floral wire. I wrapped it down with that, cut off my little triangles to make it really cute, cut off an extra strip of the ribbon to wrap around the middle to hide that floral wire, just to kind of wrap everything up, make it look completely finished. And then I'm going to hot glue it down to the sign. I really, really love how this is turning out, and I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about it. I, again, really struggled. I'm a little bit out of practice because I haven't done a lot of crafting in this sense in a while, so I'm so excited to be back to share this with you guys. Can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about it. Please let me know how you feel about it in the comments below. Last but not least, we're going to be doing a second door hanger using this really pretty heart cutout. This also came from Hobby Lobby. I'm pretty positive on that. And I'm going to be doing kind of an ombre color on this. So I'm using a light lavender, a light pink, a dark pink, and a red. And I'm just going to ombre it down with this really thick but soft bristled makeup brush. And I'm doing it kind of like a dry brushing in a sense. So I'm dipping it into the color I'm using, tapping off any excess, and then just rubbing it in circles where I want the paint to go. And what I'm doing here is it's able to paint and shade it without having a ton of excess paint, because it would be a nightmare to have to deal with a ton of drips in between all of these cutouts. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm just kind of rubbing on there. You could also do this with like a probably like a sponge or a spouncer would help really well, or with a stencil brush, though I found that this little makeup brush has been super, super awesome for doing something like this. Now, I do want to dull this down a little bit because I want the next sign to be really neutral, but I wanted it to still have that pop of color and that slight bit of Valentine's feel to it. So I'm doing a heavy dry brush on here with some white paint. So I'm going in with a rough bristled brush, and I am dipping it in, tapping it off, and then going in and doing that dry brush on there. Now I'm doing it again pretty heavy-handed. You start out light and add more and more as you want to, because you can always add more. It's harder to take away. Once I'm done and it has dried completely, I'm going to be adding it to this wooden sign that I picked up from the Goodwill, or one of the thrift stores that I was at the time. I honestly don't remember which one, but I'm gonna glue it down. So you see me flip it over here, take a pencil, draw a line. That's gonna allow me to remove it, add my glue, and put it back exactly how I wanted it, so that I know it's in the correct spot. So I'm just going to put my glue down here. I'm using some super glue, some CA glue, and I'm using some hot glue. So I'm just using both, one for an instant bond, one for a long-term bond. So I am clamping it down, letting it dry fully, and then I'm just using some of my little needle nose pliers to remove any of those glue strings that are left behind. And you can see how cute this is already. Now I want to use this bow. I already have this tulle bow made up just in my stash, and it's just two colors. It's an off-white tulle and it's a light pink tulle that I had layered. So I just like took the amount that I wanted, laid them on top of each other, rolled them up, cinched it in the middle for that bow shape. And I'm going to use that to kind of give volume to the piece of lace, scrap lace that I have on hand that I thought would be perfect for this sign. So I'm laying it down there and realizing that the white that I used on the heart is just too bright. I really want it to give more of that natural kind of worn, weathered, and match the like manila off-white color of the lace. So I really need to tone it down, and to do that I'm using the Waverly antiquing wax, and I'm doing that dry brush technique again where you dip the tip of your brush in there, tap off any of the excess, and just rub the remaining on to it. And I like to use like a chip brush or a stencil brush or something with those harder textured bristles, but you can use what you have on hand. Once I'm happy with that, I really think it helped a lot with dulling it to make it nice and neutral. I am just going to be tacking this bow into place. So I'm going to tie the lace to the middle of the bow here, and then I'm going to start using my hot glue gun to tack that lace to the actual tool. I want it to stay fluffy and big, but I want to make sure that the lace doesn't over time just start to droop and fall. So I'm just tacking little areas around the lace edge to meet with the tool. I'm just using a tiny bit to where they kind of come together, but without you being able to tell that that's there or that you can see the glue through the lace. So I'm just going to do that on both sides, top and bottom, and then I'm going to just kind of shape it the way that I want to, and then cut off any excess of the lace that is there. As you can, I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little lopsided, so I'm going to cut that off to finish it off and get it to look the way I look. Look the way I want it to look. And I think it's really elegant and elevates this piece while keeping it so simple, because sometimes less really is more. And I'm very excited with how this sign turned out too. I want to know which one is your favorite. Let me know in the comments below. And if you've made it this far, drop me a heart in the comments. I am so happy to be back and creating content for you guys. I can't wait to hear what you think about these pieces, and let me know your thoughts. Also, let me know what you would like to see. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. Consider subscribing to my channel. I'm going to take you in for a closer look, and I will see you next time.